Welcome to Zalanga Media, your source for in-depth analysis of global events. We're committed to bringing you unbiased perspectives and insightful commentary on the issues that shape our world. Today, we're diving into one of the world's most defining geopolitical rivalries, a complex and multifaceted conflict that has far-reaching implications for international stability and security. Israel versus Iran. This rivalry is a central feature of the Middle East's political landscape. This isn't just a dispute between two nations, it's a clash of ideologies, ambitions, and historical grievances. It's the epicenter of a global struggle, a focal point where the interests of numerous countries and organizations converge and collide, pulling in superpowers, each with their own strategic objectives and vested interests in the region. Regional players, all vying for influence and security in a volatile and unpredictable environment. And non-state actors who often operate outside the bounds of international law and contribute to the region's instability. To understand the Middle East, with its intricate web of alliances and conflicts, you must see it as a chessboard, a complex game of strategy and power, where each move has consequences that ripple across the region and beyond. Israel, closely aligned with the US and the West, stands as a key strategic partner in a region often characterized by instability. Faces off against Iran, a nation with its own regional ambitions and a distinct vision for the future of the Middle East, which leads its own network of allies and proxies, extending its influence across the region through political, economic, and military support. This rivalry shapes conflicts from Syria, where both nations have played significant roles in the ongoing civil war, to Yemen, where a proxy war has exacerbated a humanitarian crisis and further destabilized the region, and influences diplomatic moves in Washington, where policymakers grapple with the challenge of balancing competing interests and maintaining regional stability. Moscow, which seeks to expand its influence in the Middle East and challenge the dominance of the United States and beyond, impacting global energy markets, international trade, and the balance of power. The tension isn't just military. It extends beyond conventional warfare and military posturing. It's ideological, rooted in differing visions of governance, society, and the role of religion in public life. Historical, shaped by centuries of conflict, competition, and shifting alliances. And economic, driven by control over vital resources and the pursuit of economic dominance. Creating a complex web of alliances, where nations are often forced to choose sides in a struggle that transcends borders and ideologies. We'll break down the key nations supporting each side, examining their motivations and strategic calculations, and the motivations behind their allegiances, uncovering the complex factors that drive their foreign policy decisions. Why does the US back Israel so strongly? What are the historical, political, and strategic reasons behind this enduring alliance? What draws Russia and China toward Iran? What common interests and strategic goals unite these seemingly disparate nations? We'll answer these questions and more, providing you with the context and insights you need to understand this critical geopolitical rivalry. By the end, you'll have a clear picture, a comprehensive understanding of the forces at play in the Middle East. Of the two major blocs shaping the Middle East, their strengths, weaknesses, and long-term objectives, and how their competition affects everything from oil prices impacting global energy markets and economies to global security influencing international relations and the prospects for peace and stability around the world. This is the story of a divided region, a region grappling with internal conflicts and external pressures, where the world is often forced to choose sides, navigating a complex landscape of competing interests and conflicting values. Let's begin our exploration, delving into the heart of this critical geopolitical rivalry. At the heart of the pro-Israel bloc stands the United States, a nation with a deeply rooted commitment to Israel's security and well-being. This commitment is reflected in decades of unwavering support, making the US Israel's most crucial ally on the global stage. Indeed, Israel is the United States' most important ally in the Middle East, a strategic partnership built on shared values and mutual interests. This alliance manifests in providing billions in financial aid annually, equipping Israel with advanced military technology to defend itself, and offering unwavering diplomatic protection within international organizations. Western nations like the UK, Germany, and France also play a significant role in this alignment. These countries, while maintaining their own foreign policy nuances, while sometimes critical of specific Israeli policies, generally align with Israel on major security issues, particularly those concerning regional stability and counter-terrorism efforts. especially regarding the containment of Iran's nuclear ambitions and its destabilizing activities in the region. To bolster their collective security, these countries actively share intelligence, providing crucial insights into potential threats and emerging challenges. They also conduct joint military exercises, enhancing interoperability and demonstrating a united front against potential adversaries. Furthermore, these nations often vote together in international forums, presenting a united diplomatic stance on issues related to Israel and regional security. The Abraham Accords, brokered by the United States, marked a significant turning point in the region's geopolitical landscape. This historic agreement saw the UAE, Bahrain, Sudan, and Morocco take bold steps towards normalizing relations with Israel, paving the way for increased cooperation and collaboration across various sectors. These nations prioritized shared concerns about Iran's growing influence and regional ambitions, setting aside long-standing divisions to forge a new path forward. This new regional security architecture represents a fundamental shift in the Middle East, fostering greater stability and cooperation. It brings Israel and key Gulf Arab states together in a united front against Iran, creating a powerful counterbalance to Iranian influence in the region. Beyond these core members, other partners, including Canada, Australia, and India, also contribute to the pro-Israel alignment. These nations support Israel through various means, including diplomatic support in international forums, robust economic partnerships, and security cooperation on specific issues. The pro-Israel alliance is therefore a multi-layered network, encompassing a diverse range of actors with varying degrees of engagement. This network is driven by diverse strategic interests, shared values, and common security concerns, all of which reinforce Israel's global position and contribute to its long-term security. Opposing Israel is Iran's Axis of Resistance, a network of state and non-state actors united by opposition to the US and Israel. Syria is Iran's key state ally, providing a land bridge to Lebanon and a base for projecting power. Hezbollah, Iran's most powerful proxy, wields significant military and political influence in Lebanon, serving as a direct threat to Israel. In Iraq, Iran backs Shia militias that extend its influence and challenge US interests. In Yemen, Iran supports the Houthis, bogging down Saudi Arabia and disrupting regional stability. Iran's ties with Russia and China provide diplomatic cover and economic lifelines, helping it withstand Western pressure. Russia and Iran cooperate militarily in Syria, while China buys Iranian oil and invests in long-term partnerships. This alliance allows Iran to project power and resist isolation. The US and its allies support Israel for strategic and ideological reasons. Israel is seen as a stable, militarily capable partner in a volatile region, helping contain adversaries like Iran. Shared democratic values and political systems strengthen these bonds, making Israel a natural ally for Western democracies. Economic and technological partnerships, especially in high-tech and cybersecurity, create deep interdependence. Access to Israeli innovation benefits Western economies and security. Domestic politics, especially in the US, ensure bipartisan support for Israel, making the alliance remarkably consistent. These factors combine to keep the US-Israel relationship strong, regardless of political changes. Next, we examine Iran's motivations. Iran's allies are driven by a shared ideology of resistance to Western influence, especially American power. Since 1979, Iran has positioned itself as the leader of anti-imperialist movements, resonating with groups like Hezbollah and Iraqi militias. Sectarian identity is key. Iran, as the leading Shia power, forges alliances with Shia communities in Syria, Iraq, Lebanon, and beyond. This religious connection strengthens Iran's regional network and frames its ambitions as defending Shia interests. For Russia and China, supporting Iran is a way to counterbalance US power and promote a multipolar world. Non-state actors like Hezbollah and the Houthis depend on Iran for survival, funding, and advanced weaponry. Without Iran, these groups would be far weaker and more vulnerable. The alliance with Tehran is their lifeline. The economic front is a critical battleground in the Israel-Iran rivalry. The US and allies use sanctions to cripple Iran's economy, aiming to limit its military and regional ambitions. Iran responds with a resistance economy, focusing on self-sufficiency, illicit trade, and domestic arms production. Despite isolation, Iran sustains its proxies and military capabilities, aided by partners like China. In contrast, Israel's economy thrives on technology and innovation, forging deep ties with the US, Europe, and new Arab partners. This economic strength funds Israel's advanced military and global influence. The growing economic gap gives the pro-Israel bloc a long-term advantage. Economic power is reshaping the region's balance. The complex and multifaceted Israel-Iran rivalry plays out in real-world conflicts across the Middle East. This rivalry isn't confined to direct confrontations. It manifests in a variety of ways, impacting regional stability and security. It also extends to the shadowy realm of covert operations, where intelligence agencies engage in a constant game of cat and mouse. These clandestine activities often remain hidden from public view, yet they exert a significant influence on the geopolitical landscape. One notable aspect of this shadow war is the alleged Israeli sabotage of Iranian nuclear sites. These actions, aimed at hindering Iran's nuclear ambitions, have further fueled tensions between the two nations. In response, Iran has been accused of launching cyber attacks on Israeli infrastructure, targeting critical systems and networks. This digital warfare adds another layer of complexity to the already fraught relationship. These actions, both overt and covert, are all part of an ongoing shadow war, a conflict fought in the shadows with far-reaching consequences. Syria, ravaged by years of conflict, has become a key battleground in this proxy war. Iran provides crucial support to the Assad regime, deploying military advisors and backing various proxy groups operating within the country. In response, Israel frequently targets Iranian assets and allied forces in Syria, conducting airstrikes and other military operations. Israel's primary objective is to prevent Iran from establishing a permanent military presence on its border, which it views as an unacceptable threat to its national security. Amidst these tensions, Russia often plays the role of mediator between its various partners in the region, seeking to maintain stability and influence. Russia's diplomatic efforts are aimed at preventing further escalation of the conflict, which could have devastating consequences for the entire region. In a significant development, the Abraham Accords have fostered unprecedented security cooperation between Israel and several Arab nations. This newfound partnership between Israel and Gulf states is reshaping the geopolitical landscape of the Middle East. A key focus of this cooperation is countering the threat posed by Iranian drones and missiles, which have become increasingly sophisticated and capable. The Houthi attacks on the UAE, widely believed to be backed by Iran, have served as a catalyst for closer collaboration. These attacks have accelerated the development of joint defense strategies and security partnerships between Israel and its new Arab allies. The ongoing advancement of Iran's nuclear program remains a major source of concern for regional and international actors. In response to this threat, U.S.-Israel military coordination has intensified, with joint exercises and intelligence sharing becoming more frequent. Simultaneously, Iran is deepening its ties with Russia, forging closer military and economic partnerships. Iran is also strengthening its relationship with China, seeking economic and political support from the Asian superpower. The nuclear standoff between Iran and its adversaries represents the most dangerous flashpoint in the region, with potentially catastrophic consequences. The risk of a major regional war looms large, fueled by escalating tensions and a complex web of alliances. These intricate and ever-shifting alliances play a crucial role in shaping every major conflict and geopolitical dynamic in the Middle East, determining the course of events and the future of the region. The Israel-Iran divide ripples across the globe, fueling great power competition between the US, Russia, and China. The Middle East becomes a proxy battleground for global influence, with each side supporting its allies to expand its reach. This rivalry paralyzes international institutions like the UN, where vetoes block resolutions and undermine diplomacy. Global energy markets are at risk, as threats to the Strait of Hormuz or attacks on oil facilities can spike prices worldwide. The security of the world's energy supply is tied to this regional conflict. Advanced weapons and proxy warfare tactics developed here are spreading globally, making conflicts more unpredictable. Iran's use of proxies offers a model for other states seeking to project power indirectly. The Middle East's fault lines now shape global security and stability. The world cannot ignore these divisions. The Israel-Iran divide is a defining feature of our era, shaping everything from regional wars to global diplomacy. Team Israel, led by the US and joined by Western and Arab states, leverages technology, military power, and economic strength. Team Iran, the axis of resistance, relies on ideology, proxies, and support from Russia and China to challenge the status quo. This rivalry drives the headlines, dictates alliances, and impacts the global economy. Understanding these blocks is essential for making sense of world events, the future remains uncertain, with the risk of escalation ever present. For more in-depth analysis, subscribe to Zalenga Media. Thank you for watching.